Goed, dan kyk ons na die strooibiljet en die pamflet, the flyers and pamphlets. Die doel van 'n strooibiljet of 'n pamflet is om iemand te oorreed om iets te koop of te gebruik en dit kan aandag trek, mense opvoed, reaksies uitlok ensovoorts. So the function of a flyer or a pamphlet is to convince someone to buy something or to use something, product or service. It can be used to attract the attention, to educate people, or to get a form of reaction from someone, and so on and so forth. So they can, for example, ask you, I don't like using the example, but let's say we are talking about the new COVID virus, then they can say, create a pamphlet, maak 'n pamflet om die mense op te voed oor hoe om die virus nie te versprei nie. So create a pamphlet on educating people how not to spread the virus. Something similar to that. Okay? So it doesn't have to be an advertisement-like thing. It can be more to educate rather than advertise. Goed. So, first of all, begin met die plek se naam, Springboks Wildplaas, so noem, die naam moet duidelik wees, the name of the product or service has to be clear. Then it says 'n reël om die leser se aandag te trek. So there has to be something to attract the reader's attention, and how better to attract the reader's attention by using the words jy, as it is there, of jou, and questions. Okay? Is jy dodelik moeg? Wil jy rus? Dan is die natuur net die plek vir jou. So are you deadly tired? Or do you need rest? Then nature is just the place for you. Okay. Dan moet jy algemene inligting gee. Let op na die gebruik van leestekens, verskillende lettertypes en lettergroottes. So general information is given then, and obviously look at the use of punctuation, different letter types, different letter sizes, those kinds of things. So, now it says, hier is 20 jaghuisies. 20 jaghuisies is written big because they want to advertise that they have 20 houses for hunters available. So, it's basically a place for you to stay whilst you are hunting. Elke huisie is modern en goed toegerus, tennisbane en sprankelswembad sorg vir 'n lekker ontspanning. 'n Restaurant is beskikbaar vir vroue wat moeg is vir kos maak. Ritte in 4x4 voertuie elke aand. Okay? So all of these things is stuff from basically the top there all the way to the bottom there is things that you can do that. It's the houses are very modern and very well equipped, goed toegerus. They've got tennis courts, they've got sprankel swembad. It's not just any swembad, it's a sprankel swembad, a sparkling swimming pool. They've got a restaurant specifically for women that are tired of cooking, which means you can bring your wife with. And then 4x4 voertuie, there's 4x4 vehicles that you can go on game drives every evening. Okay? Then the next thing you need to look out for then is die Wildplaas se ligging. Now, it says Wildplaas, but the place that you're advertising, the product that you're advertising, where can we find this? So it says here, die plaas is op die Lesotho grens, so it's on the Lesotho border, naby Hobhouse, okay, close to Hobhouse, and then they explain to you where or how to get there. So it says, ry vanaf Bloemfontein na Tweespruit, draai links by die Hobhouse Webner kruising, en 10 km verder is die uitdraaibord na Springboks Wildplaas. So from Bloemfontein, drive towards Tweespruit, turn left by the Hobhouse Webner crossing, and 10 kilometers further, the turnout or the board that indicates where the farm is there, and you turn towards it. Okay, so do you see in this, we also incorporate a little bit of the aanwysings en instructies. So we also indicate some of the directions and instructions here because it explains to us how to get there. And then obviously, what is the point of trying to advertise something? if you don't give the contact details. So kontakbesonderhede, you always start with something like this, navraag en besprekings, of navraag en bestellings, anything like that. The contact person's name, telephone number, or you can add then a website address, or you could, if not a website address or web address, then you can add a email address or something similar to that. Okay, goed, so, wenke, tips, lettertypes en lettergroottes kan gebruik word om inligting duidelik te laat uitstaan. So again here, it's not really to attract the attention of the reader, but it is more to emphasize important things. So as you will see, Springbok's wildplaas here and at the bottom is in bold, okay? 20 jaghuisies is written in capital letters. So use your letter size or your font sizes and your types of fonts to emphasize important information. Visuele inligting mag gebruik word, soos ontwerpelemente. Again, visuals can be used. Let's say, for example, you are advertising a florist. Then you can maybe write your words in the form of a floral arrangement. Ne? Maybe you are advertising, I don't know, shoes or whatever, then you can use the words as maybe footprints or whatever the case might be. Again, try not to waste time in drawing pictures because it's going to cause you to lose marks. Then, inligting moet duidelik, clear information, en het moet kortliks oorgedra word. It has to be short and sweet, get to the point, don't waste too much time. Die lesers word direk aangespreek. The readers are addressed directly, so as to attract their attention. Bondige taal, you see here, all of this, they're not elaborating too much. They're just stating what it is. Elke huisie is modern en goed toegerus. They're not saying, hulle is modern en goed toegerus met 3 dubbelbeddens en 15 yskaste and all of those things. They're just saying modern en goed toegerus. It's enough. Okay? Gebruik taal wat impak maak, so use words that make an impact. In other words, use your adjectives, your adverbs, use your adjectives, use figurative language, use metaphors, use similes, those kinds of things. Intensive forms, anything like that is fine. Sprankel, swembad, those kinds of things. Die uitleg moet duidelik en sinvol wees, so your layout has to be clear and it has to make sense, so it has to follow the correct order. So start at the top, end at the bottom with the information laid out as it is explained here. Kontakbesonderhede moet duidelik sigbaar wees. So contact details has to be clear and everyone has to know how to contact you. Okay? Obviously, now you're probably thinking, so, but how are we going to, what is the necessity of putting in contact details if you're just informing people? If you're informing people of, let's say, the virus or how not to spread the virus, then you can add the websites for the Department of Health and so on, which they can use for further information or research and stuff like that. Okay. This is not one of the topics that they've asked a lot in the past exam papers, so they might ask you this in the exam. Now the question is also, so how is this different from an advertisement? Okay, so advertisement is a lot shorter than this because they don't have that much information. They have the who, the what is being offered, and the prices, whereas this one is meant to entice the reader to see, okay, what are they offering me? Oh, they have all of these things. Okay, but I don't really need this, or I don't really need that, or this is exactly what I've been looking for. So it is more of a information piece than an advertisement. Okay, so enige vrae, kontak my, we'll get to that.